Well, good evening, everybody. How we doing tonight, Jamie? Oh,
I'm
we
doing
lost.
good, Clay. How you doing? I have my mic muted here.
I
Doing
see
good,
that.
buddy.
And I'm proud to say that we have finally figured out the Rumble channel. It is over there. It's
You
ready
did.
to go. Yeah. Just if you're on Rumble, I see we've got 8 watching. So welcome, guys, on Rumble.
Awesome.
It's about a 2-minute and 50-second delay, though. I've been kind of timing it here as it's
Really?
going for
Wow.
whatever reason. So there is a delay
Wonder
on
why.
Rumble. And the
Okay.
chats do not work. If you chat there, I can see them if I flip back and forth, but I unfortunately cannot see them right here. But that's okay. I'll figure that out eventually too. I don't know why our conservative guys can't figure this out and make it simple like the libs do on theirs, but
Oh,
whatever.
you figured out how to get us on there, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, it was a long process.
Yeah.
I've learned more about embedded codes, URLs, special ones, and other streaming code and streaming keys than I ever wanted to know. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but hey, welcome everybody. Hey, Brian, good to see you here. He's right back at you, fellow MVs. And Eric's out. He's reloading some freedom seeds. Can't go wrong there. You know, we got deer
No.
season coming up, so we might need a few of them.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course, we only need one shot, right? One shot.
I mean, usually, but somebody says it's always a one shot for them. I think they're full of shit, but
I couldn't agree more. Hey, Josh, good to see you. Hey, Marty Beard is with us tonight. Good to have Marty back. Surprised he's not out, hunting coons or something. And
not
Dan
yet.
Brown.
He doesn't want to miss the show.
That's right. That's right. And I'm glad we got him here. By the way, you and I got to talk, Jamie. He picked us up some unique items. I think I told you about them. Marty dropped them with me last week. So we got to figure out what to do with them. But I think we got an idea. I got one idea anyway.
Hey, Dan, good evening, Western Edge MVE. You bet, MVE. And Dan, stick around for the end. I got a follow-up from our Vietnam story on two-way bullet points here.
Yes, yes. So Marty says, since the wind is blowing too hard to coon hunt, I'll stay and watch Guns in the 701.
Perfect.
We love it. Hey, Corey. Corey hasn't been with us.
No, hey, Corey, how you doing?
I imagine golf season's done, along with maybe he's not hauling concrete. He's been doing a lot of that lately. So glad to have Corey. By the way, Corey and myself and our sponsor, Lar Auto, Max is going to be joining us along with Waylon and Eric. We're going to be taking a hog hunting trip here. And it looks like end of February, beginning of March. That's what we got it slated for now. So looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose, as we do each and every show, we should start this off with our Second Amendment. Why don't you read it for us tonight?
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer in most places. Yeah, I tell you. Yeah, I see some of these things. I have a whole stack of stuff over here that I know we're not going to get to. We'll save it for other shows or for Friday. And by the way, tomorrow morning, what is it? 11 o'clock is we're going
11 Central. Yep.
11 Central, 10 Mountain. We're going to be joining Jay Dillon. Yep, we're going back to for a cameo, I guess. We always said we'd help him out whenever he wants to have us come on and talk about some deer hunting and things. And we're going to be joining KFYR Plus. I guess we'll bring back in the crosshairs for a segment anyway on there. So we're looking forward to doing that with Jay. I imagine that'll be about an hour.
Maybe. I think it's 30 minutes, Clay.
30 minutes, okay.
Yep.
I wasn't sure, what the time slot there, if he's going to go all the way to noon, but that's fine. Looking forward. So hit KFYR Plus TV. That's their streaming
KFYRplus.com.
There you go.
You go right
hit
to
it there, and it'll be 11 o'clock.
You gonna multi-stream that, or what are you gonna?
I'm gonna try to do. We'll see.
You had it going pretty good last time. It was a little janky I can't remember
at times, but I finally learned how to do that. He uses Zoom. I'm not a fan of Zoom. It works as long as you're using their platform, but it's pretty tough to interchange it with anything like Restream without their doing their end on it. We tried that, but it just didn't work, guys. So not a big deal, but we are going to be there. And of course, Friday, as always, KFYR 5:50 a.m. We're part of, I like to call, we're the first part of Freedom Friday, really.
We absolutely we are. Absolutely.
We literally started out with a bang, with Guns in the 701, bringing you the latest Second Amendment news. And we got some things coming up there, don't we? We'll talk about them at the end of the show here. So with that, I'm going to let you kick it off, being I downloaded the wrong deal, but I do have it up here now.
So Clay was ready to do Friday's thing today. He was pretty jacked up about that. So right before the show. So yeah, I got it downloaded here, Clay. So yeah, we're gonna start off tonight with what the headline was here that we had on our advertisement or whatever you want to call it, pre-show promo.
Promo.
49% of Democrats are in favor of just outright banning handguns.
Big
in
shocker.
this in a Gallup poll here, yeah. And we got, hey, trust me, there's a lot of stuff coming here later in the show. So if you just going by what you see in there, like, yeah, it kind of sounds lame. Stick around, or you're gonna miss some good stuff.
In fact, you know what? I think I can share this on the
Hey,
screen.
Dion, how's it going, buddy?
I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay.
Sure.
Let's see if we can do this. There it is. All right. Perfect.
Oh, you got it. Yeah. See, I got this little postage stamp, so you got it. So, all right. A new Gallup poll finds most Americans are opposed to a ban on handguns and believe firearms in the home make it a safer place. But a staggering number of Democrats, I think, to me, a staggering number. I was like, well, that's a likely number. I thought it'd be more.
I'd say it's a likely number.
Are supportive of banning not only so-called assault weapons, but commonly owned pistols as well.
Imagine
so from Gallup's most recent survey on attitudes toward gun ownership, the polling outfit was finding 56% of Americans in agreement that the laws covering the sale of firearms should be made more strict. So a little over half, Clay. I mean, there's a lot of big city people that don't know diddly squat about freedoms and guns. So, okay, I mean, that's around where I thought it would. But, Clay, the good news is that number is down considerably from the early 1990s when 80% of survey respondents agreed with that proposition. So that's way down. It used to be 80, we're down to 56, which is great, right? You wouldn't think that in the atmosphere of the country, and it's 10 points lower than the 66% support Gallup found for new gun control laws just in 2022. So we're down, 10% here in a year. So that's great, right?
Yes.
But of course, like I said, it's still about 50%, but it says it's also worth noting that another recent poll from Rasmussen that was conducted after the mass murders in Lewiston found just 44% support for more gun laws. So even after that, which the Democrats were, I guarantee you, rubbing their little bloody hands together thinking it was going to be great, it wasn't what they wanted to. So only about 1 in 4 respondents support the idea of banning handguns, and just 1 in 3 of those who were surveyed believe that a gun in the home makes it a more dangerous place. I've never thought a gun in the home. Matter of fact, my grandparents in Halliday had guns in their closet, unsecured. Then they said it made it, because they wanted home defense, and my grandpa said if the Russians come over the hill, he's going to be ready. So he was an Air Force veteran. He knew all about the Ruskies. So Democrats are far more likely than Republicans and independent voters to back a handgun ban or view a gun in the home as a bad idea. Almost 9 in 10 Democrats surveyed supported putting more restrictions on gun ownership in place, and 49% of them support an outright ban on handguns, Clay. Wait a minute. I thought AR-15s was a big problem.
Back to the handguns. I mean, I can remember when the big talk was Saturday night specials because they were 38s. They were easily concealable, and that just made them dangerous.
Truth be told, Clay, right? If you wanted to get away with something, you would want a revolver, not an autoloader, because it wouldn't spit your brass out and the chance of it not being found and the police recovering it. I mean,
I've always thought that the revolver is always better, and if you need more than 6 rounds, just take 2 of them. I mean, then you're not going to lose them. It's just round done.
What does anybody need 2 revolvers for?
Hey, Dion Hammer says he's in the house.
Yeah, baby. Awesome, man. Love it. All right, so given the poll's margin of error, it could very well be that a handgun ban actually enjoys majority support on the left. I agree that it does, Clay.
It probably does.
Yeah, I would bet money that it does. Although that idea is well outside the mainstream opinion of most Americans, which good. Well, I like to hear that.
Here's one thing with these polls, and as a guy who took stats, and I understand how you can skew them. I want to know what area of the country did they poll. Did they poll the entire country? What was the sample? I'm sure if I go look at these polls, I could get the sample, but
yeah,
it's probably a very minor number compared to the population of the country. And then which areas did they do this in? I mean, did they do the Midwest? I would imagine they took very few samplings in the Midwest.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, even if it's in the big cities, I'm still 49% for. I mean, that's
what
still,
I'm getting at. So if they did it mostly
Yeah.
in your cities or your populated states, and what we wouldn't consider Midwest, but they're in those populated areas.
Mhm.
Actually, it's probably pretty good then when you put in our area. I mean, we've got our places in the Dakotas, Fargo, Grand Forks probably is getting that way, and of course you got Sioux Falls and the eastern part of South Dakota as well, and Vermilion. Those guys are all pretty far left leaning, but when you look at the rest of the state, we still by far are in the majority. I'm not going to say we're super majority, but we're definitely in the majority.
We'll take the majority, right? I mean, but it's guess what? And according to this poll, it's going against what the Democrats and President Biden and his regime want, right?
Oh yeah,
which it says right here, long-term trends are also bad news for gun banners, with Gallup surveys showing declining support for handgun bans and growing support for gun ownership. I tell you what, real quickly, I just got a text here. It's kind of a PSA, and I do have a couple more. So after our first break and we come back,
okay.
Dan, I'll get you, and I got one for Scotty Mock and one that Axel sent me. So just hang in there after the first break, and it's kind of like a tournaments and shooting things, and kind of like Scott does with Coyote tournaments, but it's I mean, just helping people out, getting the message out. Anyway, so while Democrats are overwhelmingly supportive of more restrictions on your right to keep and bear arms, Gallup's most recent survey shows that the gun control advocates are even losing ground among their fanatic base, at least when it comes to keeping guns in the home. So, which it is, hey, bad news for him, Clay. I think he had the numbers up there, but I'll read them off here for the podcasters. In 2001, 61% of Democrats and 44% of Republicans wanted gun laws stricter, which that's a bum number for Republicans even. Since then, there has been a 27 percent point increase in the percentage of Democrats favoring stricter gun laws. No surprise. This is a good one. An 18-point decrease among Republicans, and the precious independents, like Rush always called them, views haven't changed. So Republicans is down to about a quarter of Republicans who think there should be, more strict gun laws. Well, the Democrats, it's way up for them. So compared with 2000, the percent of Republicans in favor of a handgun ban has fallen 19 points. Democrats and independent views on this issue are generally similar to what they were in 2000. Them independents who are above every they're above the fray, Clay.
They're smarter than
way better. They're way smarter than anybody in politics, The percentage of Republicans who think guns make homes safer has nearly doubled since 2000, from 44 to 86%. How the hell only 44% of Republicans at the time thought that? I remember the year 2000. My wife and I weren't married yet, but we lived in an apartment, and I definitely thought, my FUD gun kept me safer, which
it did.
Yeah. Independents also show a large shift in the same direction, from 36 in 2000 to 66. All right, good. We appreciate that. Democrats are slightly more likely today, which was surprising, 37% than in 2000, 28% to think guns make homes safer. I'm actually surprised some of them had enough common sense to go up. Not a 9-point increase, but hey, we'll take whatever we can get, right? I mean, they probably think Joe just, probably get the double barrel, right? Just put it up to your door and pull the trigger, and even if you're in city limits, right?
Probably.
So
probably.
The high water...
I pulled them down because you're covering it pretty good, and it didn't look like you could read them very good.
Yeah, I'm just I'm like Walter Cronkite with less intelligence and more flair. Maybe how's that? Okay.
My goodness.
The high water mark for gun control movement came decades ago, and activists were able to get a handgun ban put in place in D.C. and Chicago, and in the late 70s and early 80s. 50 years ago, a handgun ban was a top priority of the gun control movement. I would say it still is. Don't kid yourself. And now it's a measure that virtually no Second Amendment infringing group would dare to publicly support. I don't know about that. Despite the large number of Democrats who think it's a grand idea, which, trust me, Clay, and right, Clay, Democrats, even though a lot of them won't say, they think that would be just freaking awesome if you could ban all handguns.
Well, we've had Democrats say it on the floor of the Senate. We've had them say it on the floor of the House. I mean, one famous Democrat, she's now expired and assuming room temperature, But Dianne Feinstein said it. If she could take them all away, if I could make Mr. and Mrs. America turn them all in, she would. And they've thought this for decades. This is nothing new that Democrats believe that. And it also goes in, if you look, we had this on one other time on the show. We brought up their platform, remember? It was right there.
Oh,
it was right there.
It's ridiculous. I mean,
they've changed their verbiage a little bit to make it sound a little more appealing, I guess. I don't know to who, maybe some softies or some beta men.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they changed the wording of it. Yeah, like you said.
Now they use different wording, like gun violence needs to be controlled. And you can do that by getting rid of weapons of war, which we've already covered weapons of war.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Clay, I'll tell you what. Should we do our first ad here and come back?
Let's take a break.
We got a bunch of comments here. Why don't you hit some of these comments when we come back?
Absolutely.
Looks like we got it piling up here. All right, hang on. Here we go with our first ad.
Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro-Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro-Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro-Second Amendment, Pro-North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
All right, yeah, and again, thanks to Doug and the guys down there at Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, 701-258-6308. Hey, I was just checking out the other places, so we had about 8 on still hanging in there on Rumble, and I finally found how I can find the counter while we're live on our website, and there's free tuning in there. Thanks, guys, for tuning in on the website.
Hey, you
Unfortunately, you can't comment from there, but we sure appreciate you being there.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you getting in on them other platforms.
And of course, we got 20 some always tuned in here or more, so I don't even pay attention.
All right, Clay, once you get some of these comments, then I'll get to these PSAs I was mentioning to you.
Yeah, Brian Warner, he makes a comment about those. They're Republican light. And, like we were talking about, what is the Midwest? He's very right that a lot of people consider Minneapolis the Midwest. Lynette, she must be responding. She says, our grandparents had a shotgun sitting by the front door all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case. Bet. I've got some nearby my doors, too. I wouldn't want to. If I was you, I wouldn't break into my house. It'd be a really, really bad day for you. Yeah.
Don't break into Clay's studio either.
No. Come on in. I dare you.
Come on, man. You look like a piece of hamburger, man.
Dan Brown, he chimes in here. He says, remember back in the 70s and early 80s, the main liberal gun control group was called Handgun Control Incorporated. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, right on, Dan.
And then they changed their name. He says, I believe it morphed through the Brady Group and may even be called Everytown, whose goal is to end gun violence. I think Everytown is actually on its own yet. It became the Brady Center. Oh, what was the name of it when it changed from Handgun Control Incorporated? And they changed that name, by the way, and they even admitted they did this because it wasn't resonating with the people. It sounded too negative, so they changed it. And I think the Brady Campaign to End Violence or something is what they changed it to. Now they may have joined up with Bloomberg and his group. I'm not sure, Dan. I haven't kept track of them. Bloomberg, yeah, with Everytown. I mean, it's guys. That's what these guys do. When they can't win, they change the rules. When they can't get their point across, they change the narrative, they change their name, and they never go away ever. They just change what they're doing to try and fool you, and sometimes it works. It's kind of like
Michael Obama changing her name to Michelle Obama.
Yeah, I like that. I was gonna say it's kind of like the fake hunting group, like Backcountry Hunters.
Yeah.
Trust me, guys, those guys are no friend to to the hunter or to the shooter. It's full of a bunch of leftists, and they're hooked up with a lot of bad groups, backcountry hunters, and maybe we should do something on them one of these days. Maybe
might have to be Clay's Commie Company.
Well, I was thinking maybe get Scotty involved because Scotty's done some of this too. We could have another.
God does know a lot
about
these
that.
anti-hunting groups,
And
sure.
he knows a lot about backcountry hunters. So anyway, yeah.
Yep. All right, so yeah, one shot cap, guns on the streets. I haven't seen that yet. Me either. They always say that get guns off the streets, like they're just laying around, or everybody's out there with a gun on the street. They're hoodlums or thugs, or
I think that was a bigger problem maybe 30 years ago. I can remember hearing about it. But it's in the big cities.
I was going to say it's probably a problem in the big cities where criminals don't give a damn about their laws, and that's he's carrying a gun.
Yeah. Corey says, I'll be right over. Come on over, Corey. You're only about 30 miles away. Come on in. I got a seat for you. We'll put you on air right here. So
there you go.
There you
go. Corey's got a face for live streams too, doesn't he?
Heck yeah. Maybe we'll find him a girlfriend. I don't know.
All right, Clay, you got any more there you're hitting on, or should I get to these?
No, go for it. Go for it.
All right, so Dan sent us a text here. Slope Area Rifle and Pistol Club will draw for these guns on the first Friday in February at our club banquet. You can contact me and probably Brian, I'm assuming Brian Warner, for tickets. And looks like, let's see what we got here on this raffle. I'm going to zoom in on it. Drawing held at 6:30 p.m. February 2nd, 2024. $10 raffle tickets. They got a 29th anniversary Henry Lever Action 22. Rock Island Armory VR82 20 gauge. It looks like an AR shotgun. That thing looks freaking awesome. I really like that. Glock 19 and 2024 Gun of the Year Springfield Armory M1A 308. Need not be present to win. 18-year-old for long guns. So yeah, Dan Brown and Brian Warner. You can get a hold of them guys.
Yeah, and I guess we have the number on there?
I tell you what, Dan, do you want me to say your number? I do. We do have his number. I have Brian and Dan's number actually, but so I mean,
if you want, we'll put your number up there. Let us know, and we'll put your number up there.
Yeah, Clay's got him. I'm pretty sure you got him, don't you, Clay?
Yeah, I just got to pull it up here.
All right, so that was number one. I'm saving the grand finale one for number 3. Number 2. The Prairie Dog Shoot, Selfridge. What's the other town that it's in, Clay?
You got Selfridge over there, and then you got Shields.
Yeah, right here before I even read it. Good grief! It's not like trying to fix them without reading the directions.
Brian says you can say his.
Okay.
So hold it. Go ahead and say it once.
So all right, let me get into my contacts. Sorry, Brian, I don't know your number off the top of my head. I barely know my wife, so. Okay, Brian Warner, 701-590-5272.
Right. So I will put that up here. So right there it is, everybody. Take it down if you want more information on those tickets. Contact
Slope
Brian.
Area Rifle and Pistol Club.
Yep. And his number is 701-590-5272. There you go.
All right. So got this in the mail. Yeah. Clay, we were in the Selfridge, and Dougie and I have been in the other one, the Shields one, the Prairie Dog Hunt.
Right.
Got this in the mail from Shields Selfridge Sportsman Club recently voted to cancel the Prairie Dog Hunt to 2024. Really? It was a difficult decision made due to the limited number of prairie dog towns. The 2023 hunt brought in the lowest numbers ever, and club members heard numerous complaints from hunters that stuck around till the end. I mean, that's all right. You got to hunt harder then. Last year we had 25 teams and really struggled to find the towns to accommodate those hunters. Since then, many landowners have made the decision to poison their dog towns or have reported that a plague has hit their town, which we noted, right, Clay, there. Yep. And Wyatt, blind guy, and I went down to Wayne Hepper's a few times shooting them, and there definitely was a plague that went through there and killed a bunch of them. Because Wayne said he didn't poison them either. So this would mean there would be only about 15 usable towns for the 2024 hunt. The club members discussed this issue at length, and before deciding to forego the hunt for this year and hopefully be able to host the hunt again in 2025. They're still selling raffle tickets, T-shirts, caps, cups, and having a brisket supper on June 8, 2024 at the Shields Bar in Shields, North Dakota. They're also planning to have a trap shoot or some other shooting contest in place of the hunt. We would be honored to have you, your teammate, and family to come join us for a fun day. Please contact them for more information. And the number for that, Kathy and Victor Kraft, 701-422-3732, and Debbie Volmuth, 701-471-1027, or you can get on their Facebook page, Shields Salford Sportsman's Club.
And tell you what we'll do. We'll for next week I'll grab that image and all that, and we can actually announce that again and get that on there.
All right. So Clay,
there's lots of comments coming in.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. Go for it. Go for it.
Dan says no problem. Share his number. So Dan's number is 1-701-290-6046. Again, 701-290-6046. And of course, you can get a hold of Brian. He said he can get a hold of him too. 701-590-5272. Slope area rifle and pistol, right? I believe is what it's called.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And Josh Patterson said, remember Josh?
Yeah.
Sad day they had to cancel that. But if they're still going to do the meal, they say they're going to do that at Shields. I missed that.
They did the brisket. Yep.
We might just have to go down there.
Yeah, it might be a good idea, right?
Maybe we'll have to pull the camper there. We might have to stay overnight.
Not a bad idea. Yeah, Josh was he was watching and commenting on Scotty's show there on Saturday too.
Yep. It's a lead poisoning plague. Some places
we gave him some.
Sat in the town we were on. It was okay, but you could tell that something had happened.
I mean, the weather had something to do with the
weather.
Because when the sun came out, it got hot and heavy there for a little bit when it got heated up.
Josh says he'd be interested in the trap shoot. He says my son shoots high school trap. Excellent, and
awesome.
The high school trap shooting thing has really taken off, and I just can't be happier about that. Knowing that even early on, back at the end of when I was with NRA, we were starting to fund some of that. So I'm really happy to see that happening in both the Dakotas now.
Yep. Awesome. All right, Clay, you want me to hit this last one before we get into the 2A?
Hit it.
Okay, so Lincoln Sportsman's Club presents the 19th annual Big Buck Contest. That's going to be Saturday, December 2nd, Tumbleweed Banquet Room in Lincoln, North Dakota. Scoring of antlers will be from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time. All antlers must be entered for scoring during this time. Awards will start at 8 p.m. Central Time. Gun raffle to follow. And I did. Hey, a couple years ago, I won a 6.5 Creedmoor in that gun raffle. That's right. Grand prizes to be awarded for the following divisions: adult gun, donated by Dakota Community Bank; adult archery, donated by Two Vets Moving Company; youth gun, donated by Nodak Sportsman's Club; youth archery, donated by Nodak Sportsman's Club; youth mule deer gunner archery, donated by Tumbleweed Bar and Grill. So they don't score. I know this because a guy I work with, Scott, is on the Sportsman's Club. What do you want to call them? Committee. And they just do whitetails, but they do the youth muley. They'll score your mule deer for you if you bring it in. They'll score it.
Right.
And Waylon Turnus is out there all the time too. So, but it's mostly a whitetail scoring thing. But 2023 bonus mystery prize. Lucky winner picked by contest officials. Second, third prizes will be given for the adult gun archery divisions, and second through fifth places will be given away for the youth gun archery divisions. Up to $450 will be given towards the head mount to the taxidermist of your choice. Hey, Eric.
There we go. There's this taxidermy.
Yeah. I got a whitetail or a muley tag, so you're out of luck even if I shoot a big one. The money will be reimbursed after receipts are handed to the Lincoln Sportsman's Club. Raffle tickets available at the door for other prizes. Drawing held during awards. All right, rules. No unprepared capes or skulls allowed. Scoring will be based on gross score only, which, you know what, Clay, I think they should just do that on all freaking deer. But, I know a lot of guys who
it's the score, right? I don't.
Right.
Whether it's typical or non-typical.
I mean, there's a lot of people that like. I always want to say natural. What is it called again?
Non-typical.
Typical.
There's typical and non-typical. I love a non-typical.
I do too.
Little hangers.
I do too. I sent you that video, the one I seen that's not going on social media, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for me to pass on him if he comes around. Anyway, only white-tailed deer are eligible for the contest. Like I said, except for youth. Must have a 2023 North Dakota license. Antlers must be legally tagged. Antlers must be accompanied by their owner at the time of the finals. Youth entries are age 17 and under. All youth antlers must be entered in the youth category, not eligible for adult categories. All age hunters welcome. Officials reserve the right to reject any participants. No purchase necessary. And for the info, you can call Corey 701-400-0920. 1 prize per person. Judges' decisions are final. And I tell you what, because they used to give away guns. I'm almost done here. They used to give away guns, but instead of that, now I must have a lot of I'll tell you the truth. I did the same thing. The gun I won, nice gun. It's just something I didn't want or was never going to really shoot. First prize, Shields gift card of 1,000. Second prize, these are all Shields gift cards. Second prize, 800. Third, 600. Fourth, 500. Oh, fourth and fifth, both 500. Sixth and seventh, both 400. Eighth and ninth, 300. And 10th, 200. So, hey, that'd be a sweet little prize to win. I mean, you win any of those, you can go ahead and put it towards any gun you want, really, right?
Anything if you really
you can do anything at Shields. Maybe you want to do some reloading powder or primers or whatever you need here. And
I'm glad Shields supports that. I just wish some of these places would support the local FFLs. I mean, you got H&H Guns up there and Mandan Sporting. I mean, I'm just kind of getting that way. Nothing against Shields. It's just that I really, for these, with everything that's going on with the FFL stuff, I really want to see more and more people go to them local FFLs first. And I've been doing that. Shields is usually my last stop. Nothing against them. I've been really.
I just figure, man, they're making enough haul, and they don't need another 25.
Well, they can.
They're going to get it out of me one way or another.
With the size that they are, like any of the bigger corporations, they can sustain what's happening with the FFL increases and all the extra paperwork and all this crap that they want them to do. Your little guy, a lot of times, he's like, I don't sell that many guns a year. I have it. It's a convenience for my friends, family, and whoever. And I'm not going to pay those fees anymore, put up with all the regulations and record keeping. And then they leave. And that's horrible. That's not a good thing. That's a bad thing.
Yeah. Eric says, ain't it kind of racist? Only allow white tails and muley lies, man. Trust me, Eric, I said that to Scott. I told him that years ago. I was like, wow, okay, you guys, wow.
Gene, he says, can I bring a live deer in for measurements like catching?
You better have some big boys to hang on.
You can probably bring one in, but I want to be there to video that because that's going to be great.
Make sure there's a few videos of that one around. So
that should be good for 1 million views on our YouTube.
Yeah. You got to get past that 979. Man, I know that picture of that beaver my dad got.
Did,
right?
Yeah. Repeat.
Monster. All right, Clay, you ready to hit 2-way bullet points? You want to hit it off first? You want me to go?
Yeah, I can hit it here.
All right, you go first, buddy.
So let me grab it.
You do that. I'm gonna have a drink of the CL.
There you go. It was hard to decide which ones I wanted to do here tonight, but I'm gonna go with this one. There's a ton of stuff out there. Anybody that says there's no NRA or any Second Amendment or gun stuff for like a gun day Monday, they're not looking in the right places. There is so much going on. Court cases everywhere. Supreme Court cases coming to tuition. I mean,
you got us, guys, where we live it, man.
That's just it. We live it. You and I live it and breathe it and bleed it. So this one I found this one interesting. So have you ever heard of the Trace?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
They think that they call themselves journalists. Of course, they're not.
Right.
They're like they're the commie group, and they portray themselves as journalists when really they're ideologues that go around and just twist your stories.
Second Amendment prohibitionists, really?
Yes, they are. Yep. And get this: it's a former New York City Mayor Bloomberg anti-gun propaganda factory. I like that. I'll go with that. That's what the guy who wrote this, he calls them that. And he goes, here again, they've once again proven themselves to be completely devoid of ethics and reliable sources. Well, what they did was, and I'm going to put a picture of this up here. So right here is the company. It's Bernana Less Lethal. Basically, what they have developed is a less lethal.
I've heard of it.
Protection gun, essentially. They're calling it the alternative to deadly force. You got to remember, not every state has stand your ground. So this is probably not a bad option to have. Just another
better
tool
than throwing
in
a can of soup at them, man.
Absolutely. You don't have to have a background check or permit. Of course, it's legal in all 50 states. It's not a gun. And they basically got, what's that?
Looks like one.
Looks like one, yeah. So they get this call from somebody at the Trace, portraying themselves as a journalist, asking them about everything. The staffers referred to themselves as journalists all the time. And they basically took an article called it "Shoot, Don't Kill," talking about the benefits of less than lethal technology by examining several weapons made by Burina Technologies using 12-gram CO2 cartridge. What do you mean CO2 cartridge? I thought we were trying to get rid of carbon. We're going to bury it in the ground. Anyway.
Blowing holes in the atmosphere.
Yeah, with a 68 caliber projectile, and it goes about 330 feet per second. That would hurt.
That
I
would
suppose it's a little
sting.
rubber ball. Have you ever played Reball? Reball is just paint guns with rubber balls.
I played paint gun, and it hurts like hell.
You do Reball, it even hurts worse. They got that. If you ever come to Stock Show with us, we go down to Flags and Wheels, and we play Reball. It hurts, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, users can also opt for ammo loaded with tear gas or other things that got extract of hot peppers. They can induce nausea, difficulty breathing. So I mean, it can do it can do something without killing them. That's fine.
Clay, if you hit them with that and you really don't like the person, or they make you mad and they can't see, just go over and just take the boot and them right in the sack, man. About
there
10 times.
There you go. Travis Brenner says that would have been fun to have as a kid. He's better than airsoft. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we'd have gotten in trouble.
Yeah.
One shot says, "What if the bad guy has a real gun?" Well, there's
that.
Shoot him in the balls. I mean,
if you hit him in the eyes, though, I was actually thinking about this today for some reason, not because you had, for whatever reason. That's weird that I was thinking about.
You didn't know I was going to have this article.
And you hit them and they're blind, and then they just kind of start spraying bullets. Either they're going to drop it or just start spraying bullets around, and the bad guy,
Yeah, I mean,
just counting shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Then he's out, then bum rushing.
So anyway, the Trace story, they quote the founder and the president of this company, Brian Gans. And they didn't exactly say. They go, originally he said that it was supposed to be published in the Wired magazine. That's what this guy was told, Gans said. But once we gave him the quotes, we had no control over where the article got published. The article was written by Ted Alcorn, who describes himself in the story as an independent journalist whose reporting has appeared in numerous publications, blah, blah, blah. He also, he was the founding research director of Everytown for Gun Safety and Policy. So I'm pretty sure, he had a very unbiased
Everytown for confiscation, right? Clay.
Yeah, Everytown for confiscation. Nance had no idea what the story would say until he saw it on Thursday morning. It appeared on the websites. And here's one of the quotes. He says, "Our attitude is that more people who discuss it, the better, I guess." He's trying to take it and say, well, no press is bad press. He's taking that attitude towards it. Mm-hmm. He says it's easy to see why gun owners might perceive the less lethal offering as an admission that traditional guns are problematic, but over the last century, the primary use of firearms has changed, the story states. Lethality was essential when there was mainly tools for hunting animals or national defense, but now nearly 3/4 of people own guns say they don't do it for self-protection against humans.
Bullshit.
And Gans said, this is basically what they misconstrued. This is not how he said it. He goes, "I never said anything like that," Gans said. He says, "I support the Second Amendment. I have carried for years, been a gun owner my entire life, and I support the NRA."
Mm-hmm.
He said,
"What? You force gun control then?"
Yeah, he must be for gun control. But he said they took this entire quote of his. He says it wasn't his quote. They took and cherry picked it and put a quote together to make it sound like it was this quote. And that's that's what they do. It doesn't surprise me, but there's a lot of people that believe this crap, and they don't believe that people would do that. They do it all the time to us. So, I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention. Mostly I wanted to say, I kind of like the idea of having that particular tool in my toolbox.
I do too.
I think you carry that and you carry a gun. You never know.
You know what I think, Clay? I think since these people won't allow teachers and staff to be armed at the damn least, you can have these pistols that shoot pepper balls, and I mean they can make them in rifles with more velocity for longer range.
Absolutely.
Because I guarantee you hit somebody in the face with that thing. Not only is 300 feet per second going to hurt like hell in your face, but that shit gets in your eyes. I don't know if you've ever had pepper spray, oleoresin gel, I believe it's actually called. It's different than that's what's in it. Than pepper ball. That shit is unbelievable. There's no way anybody can take that. I mean, maybe somebody can take it, but I guarantee you some little soy boy who comes into a school to commit mass murder, or soy girl, or whatever soy confused gender person, they're going to get that, and they're going to they're probably going to drop that gun and scream, and then they're going to, in short order, regret it when people start putting the boots and fists to them.
Hey, shout out to our Rumble listeners, guys. I just checked. I mean, you guys are holding in there at 11 to 15 people for a brand new podcast.
Awesome. Thanks, Rumble. You guys are awesome, man.
I don't know if you're the same. I don't think you're crossing over. I think it's probably a whole new group. So, hey, welcome. Mm-hmm. We'd love to have you on here. It's great.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't want to be hit by. I've never had the privilege of being sprayed with that stuff, nor do I want to. So,
yeah. All right. Yeah, that was good. I like that. That was real good, actually, Clay. That was a good one you had there.
Seeing that one, I thought, that's kind of interesting. So,
yeah. Why don't you hit Lynette's comment there? I can't quite see it, and then I'll get to my first one.
Need a bigger screen now. Anyway, I just heard it's a Class C felony to pepper spray someone. Really? Huh.
Probably. I mean, they banned it like Massachusetts, and now they consider you have to have a concealed weapons permit.
Did you hear that? It was that in North Dakota, Lynette? Now I'm going to have to look that up under our century code, see what the rules are. I mean, I can tell you this. There's so many laws on the books, and even in North Dakota, you fix one, like we got the stand your ground. It still needs tweaking, but it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. But who knows what we left out and forgot about because it was in a whole different subsection of the law. Yeah. So we'll work on it if it is in North Dakota.
We'll be around in the legislative session. We'll see what we can do here.
I'll probably be up there a lot in 2024. The way it looks.
All right, Clay. So we're going to go from pepper balls, non-lethal, to something very lethal. And I do have a little problem with this, and I'll explain what I mean when I get done reading it. So, federal got a big contract with DHS and Customs and Border Protection. 5 years, strategically sourced a maximum quantity of 143 million rounds of tactical bonded 64 grain soft point 5.56 ammo, which I told you, Claire, before the show. I happen to have a bag of them right here. 64 grain bonded solid base Nosler soft point from Mr. Dave at 1760 Sports and Mandan.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do a test on these. He gave them to me. He said, I'm going to give you these, and I want you to do a test. Yeah.
You were just telling me we heard somewhere that's hard to get powder and bullets.
It's not. Dave's got plenty of both, and he's not a huge shop. The guy's got fair prices on stuff. You look him up on Facebook. He's got a Facebook. But, yeah, so these bullets, Clay, actually, there's 100 of these babies in here, $46.99. And I guarantee you that's a fair price for them. Anyway, these are the bullets that the federal got a contract for. They're getting loaded rounds though. So here's from Jason, Federal Ammunition President and CEO Jason Vanderbrink. We are proud to provide the highest quality duty ammunition to Customs and Border Protection officers charged with the monumental task of border security. We know they require the best ammunition in their mission to protect our borders and keep the homeland safe. The large duty contract win solidifies federal ammunition as the top choice of law enforcement. I like federal too, and I'm a civvy. The cartridge selected was the tactical bonded 64 grain soft point. The single award indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contract is a strategically sourced contract. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, whatever that means. For all DHS components of the maximum, like I said, quantity of 143 million rounds. Man, I'd like to have a sliver of that.
Yeah.
The ordering period is for 5 years. Federal's tactical bonded line is a trusted partner for some of the most intense conditions, said VP of Law Enforcement Sales Dave Lease. Any relation to Daryl? Hey, Daryl, you got a hookup for us here?
That Daryl ain't listening.
Yeah. made exclusively for law enforcement at our Anoka, Minnesota headquarters, ironically in Minnesota. It achieves accuracy and terminal performance that defeats tough barriers with minimal change to its superior performance attributes. So I'm going to load some of this up when deer season's over, and we will give it the gel test out at Brother Axel Hondo's place.
Heck yeah.
So, Clay, I told you I had a problem with this, right? A little bit of one. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you what it is.
Yes.
And it starts with this sentence right here. We're proud to provide the highest quality duty ammo to CBP officers charged with the monumental task of border security. I'll tell you what my problem is. You guys aren't securing the border.
No.
You know what you're doing? You're afraid to stand up to Joe Biden, and some people might think I'm an a-hole for saying this, but I'm going to say it because you guys, you're not standing up. You guys need to get together and tell Biden, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to repel these bastards from invading our country. And if you don't like it, send your freaking boys down and we'll have it out with them because it's your guys' duty to secure the border. you're afraid to do it because you want your goddamn retirement account. I got you, right? You want your retirement, you want your money. But what good is that going to do? And we don't have a damn country left because we're getting freaking overrun and invaded.
Absolutely. And
so don't give me this crap. You're not securing the border. You're standing there and helping these people come in here, and then you let them go free.
You know,
I know there's good people down there, Clay, that want to do the right thing, but they're not doing it.
And I only saw one group do it. It was a video that got leaked. Evidently, one of the Border Patrol agents was filming it with his phone and leaked it out, where there was one of the guys talking about what they had to do, what they couldn't do. And they all got together and said, no. And everybody in there, all the guys, the guy didn't even know how to react, the guy who was in charge.
I did see that.
And so it can be done. And I've seen it done. Guys, we are the most powerful voice if we band together.
Mm-hmm.
They can't. There are more of us than them. But you just can't let them do it. And I don't know where. Well, I do know.
Well, Clay, how many?
I know where it comes from.
You ever heard any illegal border jumpers getting a 64 grainer put in them? I haven't.
Nope. And I
heard some border patrol agents getting shot and killed, but I haven't heard any illegals getting it yet. Remember when Hovind was down there? Senator Hovind went down there, and he said the cartel was on the other side of the river. They could hear him. Cat calling them or whatever you want to call it, throwing insults out at them. And what are you supposed to do? I remember he was on. I don't know if Daryl was on or Hannon. I think it was Hannon yet. And I said, well, when I called in, I couldn't take it. And I said, what you do is you get a Delta Force sniper or a Marine sniper, and you stick them in the woods behind you. And when these guys start hooting and hollering and insulting you, I'm just say, hey, a dirt kicked up beside me. I think they took a shot at me, and I'll guarantee you within a minute or so, it's going to be quiet on the other side. What Hovind do? He just laughed at me like that wasn't an option.
I have been called a few choice things. Not that I give a crap, but you know me, I don't give a crap. And I said, I can close the border down in 24 to 48 hours. How would you do that? I said, I'd line it with my military because it is an invasion. And if I was the president, it's my duty. It's a constitutional duty written in the Constitution that I'm supposed to protect our borders with shoot to kill orders.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that. Why not? You're invading our country, our sovereign nation. Yes, it's pretty extreme to some. I guarantee you, it will end.
Yeah, you're right.
It will end.
Remember, Trump made a joke about putting alligators in there. I say,
freaking take them out, stack the bodies, and don't worry about it after that. Cartels come, take them out. I had Erica Valdez on here, a few weeks ago here in October?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
And I'm telling you, man, the picture she shared with us about the drugs and the drug mules coming across their private property. And it's even worse now. Mm-hmm. It's been happening. Even under Trump, they were having problems, but not like they're now. This is worse than anything they've ever seen. She goes, you don't do nothing to them because if you do, they'll kill you. They'll kill your kids. They'll kill your family. They'll kill your mom. They'll come after everybody in your family and wipe them out. Mm-hmm. And they did that to a neighbor. So it's a serious thing that nobody wants to talk about. And it's endangering our own people here, like Erica Valdez, who came and spoke in Dickinson. So I don't know if you made it, Dan. I know you're listening, but I tell you what, I wish everybody could have made it up there. I had plans to go up there. I'd heard her speak before, but I couldn't make it that night, unfortunately. But I'm telling you, we have to get this under control. And, we have to take the steps necessary probably now at this point.
Well, we had a talk at work today. A guy was telling me another podcast, a guy on Rogan who was, I don't know if he was a SEAL or something, but he was on the border. And, these coyotes, they'll just stand there when you're on the other side and they'll look at a woman carrying her baby, grab the baby and throw it in the water. And these guys are like, we got to save the damn kid. And when you do that, they shoot across the border.
Yeah, it's bait. They know that we're a compassionate country. I mean, that's what it is.
That's what we want is people over here like that, right? That'll throw little babies in the damn river.
I mean, it's just like what you see going on right now. I don't care if it's Israel or Hamas or whatever country it is. They've always used human shields, and they put their bomb factories in hospitals, things like that. And when we find out, we bomb them, and rightfully so. And it's a really, really bad thing that those other countries, our enemies, I'm not even going to call them, they're our enemies. They do that using their own citizens as shields, and then say, oh, look, the United States killed all these people. No, you killed them. Because you put them in front of the bombs and the bullets, and that's just the way it is. So it ain't the first time it's been done. It happened in World War I and II. It's happened in every war we've ever fought.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to put up here.
Go
Dan Brown, he puts in here, this is in response to pepper spray. Non-justified use of pepper spray for self-defense may rise to the level of a C felony depending on the severity of injuries it causes. So there you go, guys. That actually sounds pretty open-ended to me if you had to go to court on that.
From a former law enforcement officer.
Yep, and Dan, yep, and he was a good one, guys. Dan was just superb, and I can't say enough about Dan. But
great guy.
Looking at that, if that's how that reads in our century code, boy, if I was a lawyer and got a hold of that, which is what I started out in college to be, that's pretty open-ended.
I mean, to me,
non-justified use. I'd like to see
that would
how
be
they actually define that.
Like if somebody got an argument and then some guy just like sprayed somebody without a threat and then just kicked his ass.
Right. I mean,
I would say that would.
But if you
but
take,
you know, some liberal judges think so.
I was gonna say if you take some crazy DA, which we might know one called Letitia James right now. Anyway, you can see how they can take and use these things and twist them. So that'd be interesting. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Lynette.
Yeah.
And
Any other comments? Otherwise, I'm going to hit these two double out, and then we're going to come back and get.
I'm going to go back here. Axel, he says it'd be a shame if Hollow Point's
some Hollow Point pepper bullets.
Lynette. Yeah, we listened to the interview that the ranchers are afraid to protect their property. Yeah, they're right. They definitely are. And Eric,
you can't blame them. Clear. I mean, you can say, hey, I got an AR. Well, guess what she said, Clay? All these guys coming across got ARs too.
Absolutely.
And it ain't Mexican made. They get them from the cartel or the military. And I mean,
they come supplied.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's hit this double ad. We'll come back. Clay and I are here's what we got here. We're gonna finish up. Clay's got another 2-way bullet point. I do, and then we're gonna do Clay's patriotic company and happy ending. So I'd say we got about a half hour left. So hang in there. Here we go.
Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Guns and the 701 is sponsored by the Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, the Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com. All right. Yeah. And again, thanks to our great sponsors. We can't do it without them. Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington. By the way, I'm going to be taking something to him up there probably closer to after the first of the year. We're finally going to get that pickup of mine, get that leveling kit out, get it lowered on the damn ground where it belongs because it's got a big lift in it. And make it more for, I guess I'm an old guy now, so I don't want that. But Doug's going to fix me up right there. And of course, the Blind Guy, they do excellent work. blindguynd.com. Check them out. I tell you what, Wyatt and his wife will take care of you, and they do fantastic work. So,
and don't forget, if you patronize our sponsors, make sure you tell them you appreciate them sponsoring our show. And I actually got to get live from the hunting shack, Clay. I'll show off some of them Blind Guy blinds. Actually,
I got to get a hold of Wyatt. I think I'm going to have him do my camper. I hate those blinds in there, and I think that'd be the thing to do.
Works great, man. All right, Clayton, you want to hit your second 2-way bullet point?
Sure. Mine's kind of an update of an ongoing thing. This has been going on, bump stocks, right? How long have we been hearing about this? It actually started back in 2017 on the Las Vegas thing, which we still have no clue what happened there. Right. That just like disappeared.
Or for that matter, a report came out. They said it was full autos, and that got
And I can remember when that was happening. I was on a deal where they're like, "Hey, there's shots being fired in Vegas." Guy I knew way out east. I flip on the TV and boom, yeah, sure as heck it was. It did sound like a full auto, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, and guys, let's remember, yes, President Donald Trump was the one, because I know what he was pretty new to that 2017. That's just a year into his presidency. Well, not even quite a year into it. So he told the ATF to do what they needed to do and check it out and probably ban them. I know he kind of reversed and backed away from that afterwards, but nonetheless, it took him a while. So ATF did that. They actually did this with use of the Chevron deference, and I'm not going to go into those details on a bullet point tonight, but we've covered that as to what that was, which had nothing to do with firearms,
like
guys.
A vast deference?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Anyway,
no comment. So anyway, we did have a court case filed, and basically the case with Cargill versus Garland was brought. It was brought in Texas. The store owner was Michael Cargill. I can't even talk tonight. Cargill. And with the new Civil Liberties Alliance, they're the ones that brought this case against the ATF. This went back and forth and went through the court system, basically because the ATF banned them. Said, nope, they didn't even say you could do anything. They wanted you to cut them up, turn them in, whatever. I'm sure everybody did that, right?
Oh, for sure.
It went through the court system. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals agreed with the plaintiffs by a margin of 13-3 and struck down the ATF's rule. Yay, big win, right? Boom, they go back. Long story short, ATF actually asked the Supreme Court to look at this case. So they did this, and they said they would grant the ATF a stay while deciding whether to grant the writ of Satori. Now the Supreme Court has actually decided to hear this case. I think it's going to be a good thing. I think we're going to see it based in Bruin, as we've seen so many cases that came out of the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. Bruin, Heller, the Illinois case, I think they're all going to come into it. So kind of one of them, maybe be careful what you wish for. The ATF wanted the Supreme Court to make a ruling on this. I think that pistol braces and bump stocks are all going to be, basically, that's all going to be overturned, and they're going to be legal again under this because the Supreme Court's going to rule on it. We've already seen their rulings. Bruin was very vital on historical use of firearms. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. It's an update. So, guys, the bump stock thing, that case, and they're talking about.
Whoa. I just thought of something, Clay, historical. Like, how do you bump fire a musket?
I bet we could figure it out.
I got you. We're going to ban them.
Oh, my goodness. So I think they're right here. I really believe that a positive outcome in this case will just cement an overruling and make pistol braces legal once again, too. So keep your eye on this. It's going to be interesting. Shouldn't. It's just a piece of plastic, for Christ's sake.
Run that shit in front of the Senate and House and let's vote on it.
Absolutely. I think the bottom line the Supreme Court's going to come back with, in all honesty, is they're going to say, wait a second. ATF is an unregulated bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm.
They can't make law. You're circumventing Congress and the process of legislating, passing laws, having it signed by the executive, and then having judicial review. They completely bypassed the process and made a new law, essentially, by the stroke of a pen. So I think that's you see the Supreme Court come down on this.
So Lynette says you want to lower it and make yourself a little street rider truck now.
No, not that low. Not that low. I've been hauling a lot of cattle here the last couple of weeks. Some of my own, some for my neighbors. I'm getting tired of getting up into that big monster. The new box is deep enough. So I need that. I need to get rid of that lift kit and get looking. It's still a 1-ton diesel. It just needs to be a normal 1-ton diesel. So
yeah,
and I ain't trading, guys. I hate these new pickups. Everyone gives me crap why I won't trade. I've seen the new ones. I don't like them. All them big freaking computer screens and more electronics to go wrong. Nah, you can keep them.
All right, Clay. I'm gonna hit mine here.
Axel, just a second. Axel says, "How do you bump fire anything on a tripod?"
Well, ask what was his name again in Vegas?
I don't even remember the name of that.
Yeah, weird Democrat. Yeah, don't worry. If he did it because they thought the country concert was full of Republicans. Don't kid yourself.
Oh yeah, that's exactly why they did it.
All right. So last week I mentioned, I don't know, offhand comment about Carlos Hathcock and what gun he used. Oh, we were talking
Dan,
about FUD guns, I think, Woodstock. Yeah. Yeah, and Dan, I said it was a 308, and Dan said it was a 30-06 model, which
30-06,
Dan was right, and I was right. So I thought about it, and I thought this would be a good, good little thing here for a little history lesson for some people. And no, Dan, I'm not saying for you. I'm just saying for people who don't really pay attention to the Vietnam War. To play off of something that was said on the show. So, all right. So, like I said, Dan said it was a Model 70 30-06 that Carlos Hathcock used. He was correct. And I said it was a Remington Model 700. I said Model 6, whatever. That was wrong. But I don't know what I said Model 6 for. But sometimes, I just have Biden moments. Anyway, I'm going to give you just a little history lesson here on what happened with these sniping rifles in Vietnam. So prior to 1966, Marines in Vietnam used, like Dan said, the Winchester Model 70 and 30-06 Springfield. But those weapons did not provide the ideal platform, according to the Marine Corps. Remington Arms indicated a willingness to work with the U.S. Marine Corps toward the creation of a custom rifle. A partnership was born that would last for decades. What the company submitted was a modified version of its Model 700 40X target rifle that was chambered in the drumroll, please, short-action 7.62 NATO cartridge, known to most people as the 308. The gun featured a free-floated 24-inch medium-weight 1-in-10 twist with a factory bedding, a one-piece wood stock with no checkering, and 2 fixed sling swivels. It was built on a short-action Model 700 using a cock on open bolt feeding from an internal box magazine with a 5-round capacity clay, which we mentioned, right?
Yes, we did.
Stripper loaded with a clip, loads the magazine.
A real clip.
Yeah, because they was on a banned weapons of war, right? And they have detachable magazines. They can, this sucker loaded from the top with a clip, like we said. So Remington delivered the rifles with a matte Parkerized finish and a commercial. I remember I said this too, Clay. Redfield 3x9 scope. Remember?
I remember you talking about that.
Yep. Presenting a distinctive green anodized finish, kind of like an OD green looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
The scope mounted to the receiver to the use of Redfield base and 1-inch short rings. The Marine Corps officially adopted the rifle on April 7, 1966 as the M40 and promptly ordered 700 units. Those examples wrote themselves into U.S. Marine Corps history during fighting in places like Hue in early 68. And there's a picture of this guy. I've seen it before. A lot of people haven't. He's had the sniper rifle, the M40 there, shooting through a window on his second, third floor, or whatever, during the battle there in that city. The M40 was put to severe use during the Vietnam years with predictable results, which means it kicked ass.
It did its job, didn't it?
Yeah. In the years immediately following the end of the American experience in Vietnam, the Marine Corps recognized that it was
time. The American experience?
Yeah, wow. That's what it says.
That's one way to put it.
My uncle would say it was quite an experience. Marine Corps recognized that it was time to upgrade the most critical components of the sniper rifle program. Toward the end, a modified version of the M40 was developed that built on lessons learned during the years of wars in Southeast Asia. So this is the one I was thinking of. The M40 is what the stock was eliminated because they found that the wood tended to warp in the high humidity environment of the jungle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a synthetic stock made by Macmillan, which is the one this is the
Macmillan,
one I always.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, and this is the one I always picture the Vietnam snipers doing. Green and earth tone with that red camouflage. It's a kick-ass camo. I love it. Macmillan actually still makes it. You can buy that very stock yet to this day. In addition to that, a 24-inch Atkinson barrel with a 1 and 12-inch twist, which is weird to me because it was a slower twist than the 1 and 10, and they figured that was optimized for the 118 match cartridge that replaced the M40 Remington. The M8 118, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's like a 178 grain or something. Is it a 168? But it's heavier, so you'd think the 1 and 10 would stabilize that, but I guess not.
Maybe not.
So the combination of the new barrel and the replacement of certain aluminum components with steel components made the new rifle heavier than its predecessor by 3 pounds. The improved rifle was adopted in 1977 with the designation M40A1 and it was paired with an Unertl 10-by scope specifically made for it. The A1 version of the M40 would serve the Marine Corps for more than 20 years. Here's a little bit of history for people who watch movies. One of the young Marines who carried the M40A1 was Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Swofford, a scout sniper with the surveillance and target acquisition platoon of the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marine. He went on to chronicle his experience during Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm in a 2003 book. Here you go, Clay. Jarhead. Anyone familiar with the book will know Swofford became proficient with the M40A1 only to never fire a single shot through it in action. And so Carlos Hathcock, which started this whole conversation in his Woodstock Winchester, he actually had 98 confirmed kills, and Springfield Armory actually made a gun later called the M25 White Feather in honor of Hathcock, because that's what the North Vietnamese called him, the White Feather. I don't know why that was his nickname, but everybody thinks that he was like the most kick-ass sniper in Vietnam, right? And I thought there was somebody else.
And
I looked, but no, he wasn't. He wasn't. I looked it up. Yep, I looked it up.
But there's another one.
There is another one. The guy's name, and then when I seen his name, I recognized him immediately. Charles Benjamin Mawhinney, U.S. Marine Corps. He had 103 confirmed kills. Hathcock had 98 confirmed kills. And one time, Mawhinney had 16 confirmed kills in 30 seconds, Clayton. All headshots with the M14. And that's his two weapons of choice were the M40 Remington and the M14. And this is some people might not think this is funny, but I did. He later said of his experience in Vietnam as a sniper, it was the ultimate hunting trip.
Well, I guess, yeah.
And I think he actually did commercials for our buddy Scott Bachmeyer's favorite scope, the Burris Eliminator. I remember seeing those commercials of Mawhinney. I'm pretty sure it was Chuck Mawhinney was on there doing that. So
imagine if they'd have had them then. By the way, Axel says ban all Remington 700s now.
Weapons of war, man. And Model 70 Remington and Model 70 Winchesters.
Model 70s, yeah. Weapons of war.
Weapons of war, for sure. And a Woodstock, too, you know. Good. I'm glad they warped. Didn't make them work as good. Yeah.
He kept a white feather in his bony hat. That's what the axe says.
Bony hat, I think he meant. Yeah.
Bony hat, probably.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody's got a Springfield M25 white feather. I'd like to see a picture of it.
Heck yeah. Let's take it on the range and have some fun.
Yeah. I'd take it out to the old rock range.
You know, when I bought my M1, I finally took it out to the range after I got it. And I love shooting that gun. Remember, though, they called it. When you put that clip in there, you better get your finger out. You better get your thumb out of there.
Yeah,
they always called it grand thumb or something, M1 thumb. Yep, I can see why. Thumb. But my goodness, you think about the age on them guns, and they still fire, and they still fire well, and mine's not a complete grade 1, but it's about as close as you can get to a grade 1. Mm-hmm. And I just love that gun. I like them historical guns. Obviously, I don't need just guns for any reason, although I keep buying them, but I like them historical guns now, so I've been buying a lot of them, and my boys are gonna have one hell of a collection.
Well, not only that, Clay, I always think of like the cartridges they made too. Look, 30-06, that was a World War I, and I mean that thing's just popular,
still popular today.
And 308, that was like T53 we said last week is when they invented, and 223, that sucker was around in the late 50s too. So
the axe, I agree, they're beautiful. They are. Mine's got the walnut stock, and it's just like some of the other ones I got. You know, there's different grades of them depending on production when they were made through the war. You know, some of them they basically wanted to increase their production, so they did away with the little brass ornament things on them, or they did different things to different guns, and so I'm kind of getting into that part of it. I know Gene loves them old military guns.
Yeah, he must be cutting meat up tonight or inspecting some meat lockers or something.
Maybe inspecting, because he's not. Remember, he's not.
Yeah, that's what I changed it. I said inspecting it. So,
but Gene is. We're gonna have him on. I think we'll get through November here and get over the past.
Once we get that deer season's over,
we're gonna have Gene on to talk about.
There's Gene right there.
30-40 Craig was a war horse. Yes,
ask and you shall receive.
I'll tell you what, that 3040 Craig, I don't have one anymore, but I had one. And there's a little oomph to those. I had a good gun, Yeah.
All right, Clay. What do you think? And you already do Clay's Patriots? We hit the last
Let's
ad
take
here?
a break. Let's do our last
All right,
ad
we got one
and
more here.
thank some sponsors, and then we'll come back with the
Right on.
Patriotic Company.
Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Yeah, once again, I always want to thank Lauer Auto Repair down there on 309 South Washington. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. I think I got that number finally memorized. You know that?
Yeah,
that's good.
Something, Clay, and if you don't appreciate our military snipers, especially our dudes in Vietnam, you know what you are?
Person.
That's right. That's right. I don't know when that started. It's probably still going on. There was supposedly a debate going on with the Republicans.
I think it started 10 minutes ago. I'm not for sure.
And Trump's doing he did his own thing. So down there in Florida, I thought that was, you know what? You got to love it. Whether you love or hate Trump, he's always right there just doing his own thing. So
he knows how to get it done for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I
guarantee you he got more viewership than they're going to get. So
it'd be interesting to see for sure. But by the way, that election last night, it was like another supposed red wave. The Republicans got punched in the face, so don't think we're going to kick everybody's ass in 24. Prepare for the worst and get everybody's ass out to vote, because
I'll put it to you this way. I didn't have that feeling of a red wave going into it. Seeing what they were talking about. Virginia's been purple for a long time. It could go either way. The Kentucky governor,
they elected the Republican governor. He kicked ass.
That's what I mean. It's purple. It can go either way.
All right.
Basically their legislature has swung back and forth. I kind of did some looking today. They've been doing that for decades, back and forth. The last 10, 15, 20 years. Kentucky, I figured that governor was going to win. People evidently forgot about the China virus restrictions, but the other things
I thought we were going to get.
I didn't. I know everybody thought that. I don't know why, because some of the polling I was looking at, it was a 50-50. And it came out 46 to 50 something.
Yeah, he got his ass kicked.
So it was
really
close,
You thought it was close? I think that's an ass kick.
I thought it was close for Kentucky, because Kentucky's been now I guarantee you, though, I have no doubt that whoever the Republican candidate is in the presidential election, Kentucky goes Republican. It's just like North Dakota. We've had Democrats in there in the House and the Senate, and we've had control in the legislature, but the presidential election always went Republican. So it doesn't concern me near as much, but I agree with you. This is not a slam dunk, people.
No, it's going to be razor
not a slam dunk, and we better be on guard, plain and simple.
So, yeah, I mean, anyways, all right, Clayton, let's do it.
Let's get to the Patriotic Company.
Let's cheer something up here, man. Yeah.
I'm going to cut it short because they've actually been dinging us sometimes on the copy.
For using somebody claimed I was there.
And I usually win that appeal every time. You'll love this though. The USSR national anthem. Oh, they're still claiming copyrights on that. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I ain't going to go into that tonight. So anyway, the company I'm coming up with tonight, individual owner of his company, started it when he got right out of school, has done one heck of a job. He just keeps getting better and better. I know that when you go to his place, there's 3 flags flying there. One's usually a Gadsden flag, of course, the United States flag. he has patriotic flags, and of course, the United States flag, and I think the other one is generally a Trump flag. Anyway, he's like me. He likes to fly patriotic flags. He's very conservative, a good Christian man. I can't say enough about him. Like I said, he is a true blue. He's with us. By the way, he's a listener of the show, as so many of them are. And we tried to have him on. It didn't work out, but we're going to get him on there. And he's very generous. I mean, like with the Rax Adventure team, he's been real generous as far as doing 10% off for all of his work, things like that. Mm-hmm. So my patriotic company of the week this week is, here it comes, maybe, Grizz's Taxidermy. Eric Newman is the owner of that. He's down there at 1832 Baki Road. He lives kind of just in the middle of nowhere, close to a lot of hunting and prairie dog.
Some nice deer around this place.
Oh yeah, down in Shade Hill. That crappie there. Look at the size of that crappie.
That's
massive. A huge crappie. I'm sure Eric's still listening. Is that the one that your brother got? That was such a huge crappie, like a record one up here as far as we were concerned. Grizz's Taxidermy at hotmail.com. That's how you can get a hold of him. Or, of course, you can always get a hold of him on his number. And I evidently didn't save that with the number, unfortunately. But I can get you in touch with him if you want to get a hold of Eric Newman of Grizz's Taxidermy. Let us know. Gunsandthe701.com. It says send us a mail or send us an email.
Yeah, send us a mail.
Send us a mail. I'll get you guys in touch with Eric Newman. And he does fantastic work. He's done all my taxidermy.
Eric's on Facebook too, if you look him up. So
yeah, he is. So
don't look up Grizz's. I think it's just Eric Newman. So.
Yeah, look up Eric Newman. Yep. And he says, nope, that's not his brother's. So, but that's still a big crappie. And his brother got a huge one out of Shade Hill, which you should have seen this thing. It's just huge. So
bigger than that one?
Oh, it was huge. I bet.
Gee,
Eric can tell you about it himself. It was a big crappie. Eric, you have to tell us, is that bigger than that one? Or is it just about the same? It's
chemicals draining in there from the fields, making
it must be all them hormones coming out of them cattle that poop
the
out
cattle
there.
Taking crap, but yeah, all the steroids from their system.
So anyway,
once you catch up on some, when you're done there, catch up on some of these.
Is our patriotic company of the week? Yeah, we got a lot of them coming.
Right on, Eric.
All right, let's get up here. Well, we got Gene in here. He says 3040 Craig. Axe, he got in here. He loves his polymer guns, but wood gets me off.
I'm definitely a polymer guy. I'm 100%.
I like traditional wood as far as the look of it. I can tell you when I'm shooting, I do tend to like my synthetics. And my
I like AK-47s with wood on them better, but I did see one the other day on Thunder Ranch Edition that was polymer that kind of got me hard, Doug.
Gene, he says Rove. I imagine Carl Rove. He's saying Biden loses next election. And I'm not we could go all day long into this. Biden's not, as far as his performance, even within a Democrat, I'll be surprised if he's the candidate. We shall see, because I believe their national convention is next year, and around August. So we'll see. It's a strange election cycle that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
One Shot Cap puts out, yes, absolutely. Thanks to all the veterans out there. Absolutely. We're missing one tonight. Keith usually chimes in, but he knows what he's got going on. But without our veterans, we wouldn't be here.
Nope.
I agree, Marty. I think we got problems. We haven't fixed them. And Jamie's been sounding that alarm since 2020. Elections aren't fixed. He says they're not. They haven't solved that problem. He says the elections are fixed. They're still fixed. And I tend to think you're right. It's just whether we can overcome the algorithms.
Yeah, I just don't know if in some states you can overcome it. But
let's face it. This goes down to 5 states. That's what's going to decide it, just like last
time. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. Wendy O'Neill, hey, welcome. Good to see you. Grief, thankful for the veterans who served this nation and helped us preserve our freedoms. Absolutely. And
you bet. Thanks, Wendy.
You know what? It's we'll see how the elections go, but I think we're headed for something that's not going to be good. We'll see how many people really believe they're going to have to fight for their freedom. I think we're going to see that in our lifetime anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Newman, yes, 100 rounds of Nosler 55 grain Varma getting freedom.
Ooh,
speeds. There you go.
Sweet round. That's a sweet round, Eric. I'd love that round. That's my main round and a lot of my rifles, 223s.
He said, no, that wasn't his brother's. He says, it's a freak of a fish.
I believe it. If it's bigger
and he
than
says
that
his brother's
sucker.
is bigger. I thought it
Dang.
was.
Wow.
And that's huge.
Unreal.
I knew it was a huge crappie. So
oh man, I see one coming up.
I see this one. Yeah, there's Axe's.
Axe got the eggplant on.
Well, you ain't running around naked outside your door through the garage.
Yeah, running around the house. But
no comment on that either, guys. We would not tell you that.
yeah,
story.
Gene, I agree. Ballots are being printed now. You know what? Though our side, if Republicans want to get back, we need to get down and start kneecapping these bastards like they do us. Quit acting like we need to take the higher moral ground. Bullshit. You want to keep your country and all our freedoms? Start doing what's got to be done to these bastards.
Exactly. You know, I'll tell you right now, the RNC is dead. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, they do nothing. They've lost how many election cycles now with the same person at the helm? They think they're doing the right thing. I mean, they're blaming Trump for the losses. Trump wasn't even on the ballot this time. This was all their own. What has the RNC done? Honestly, what have they done to win elections? Nothing.
Well, if you remember, Clay, Youngkin in Virginia, he told Trump, when he was running, don't come here. And okay, well, then he won, but then he went around and endorsing all these candidates in Virginia, and then they lost the House of Delegates.
So, I mean, this has to do, the one thing I'll give to the Democrats, and I have always said this, and you've heard me say it, they're organized.
Oh.
Yeah, they stick together. Them people stick together. They don't fight.
They do.
They stick together. They work hard. They go and they lie. They lie like freaking, nothing's tomorrow. I mean, they lie like nothing is no big deal. They're good at it. They can raise money. And let's face it, I heard a good one today on Clay and Buck show. They have all the megaphones, and they do.
Yeah, they definitely get their they have ways to get their message out way better than we do.
For whatever reason, we don't do it. Laziness? I don't know what it is. I mean, you got shows like yours and me, but our reach ain't like that.
Yeah, if we had Clay and Buck Street, it'd be great.
Oh, shit. Yeah. And I mean, you look at K-Fire, they got a pretty good handle on it. I mean, it's fairly conservative there.
Trouble is, we're only on there for like actual speaking time, like 25 minutes.
I know.
We need that bigger Friday time slot there to kick
1-800-258-0550. You want to hear us for an hour?
Yeah. So we want to talk to Todd.
And we're going to get Todd on here. I don't know. It's not going to happen this week or the next because I got things going, but we will get this so that we're going to see Todd with us on Fridays. That's
real quick, Clay, before I'll just say one more thing about what you were saying. A lot of people get mad at Republicans. They don't agree with 100%, but I'll tell you what, I'll take a person I agree with 60% of the time over somebody I agree with 0. Exactly. And if that doesn't work, you got to vote them out of office later. But if you can't, I mean, what do you want? Do you want nothing, or do you want to get 60% of what you want? I don't like it either, man. But Democrats laugh at us when we say like, "Oh, they're going to vote for somebody that they don't agree with 100%." Good, we'll take the freaking seat and we'll get what we want because that's what happens. And
you see them do that. They'll
do that. Yeah, they don't agree with somebody like screw it. They're still a Democrat. And
Clay and Buck brought that up today about is it better to vote for somebody that's a moderate or to vote for a guy that you really want? They lose and you get the far left. They were talking about the abortion issue, and then you get what you got in Ohio.
Yeah, actually, Clay, I heard what you're saying, and you know what they were saying that me and you have brought up about the NRA, where the NRA does what the Democrats do. They nitpick and they take it back one bit at a time, and
they do.
I can tell you, bitch at them for that, but they get shit done.
I was talking with 3 different people over the weekend and through the beginning of the week, and the NRA came up. Honestly, I'm not the one that brought it up. They were bringing up what was happening on K-Fire on Wednesdays and Fridays with a certain person. and I did not bring this up. And they're kind of pissed off, and they go, "What is his problem?" I go, "He has this narrow view. He blames the NRA's ancestors going back to the 30s, which none of them are there, as you and I said."
Yeah, and the ones that were there in the early 70s aren't there.
And like they go, "Without the NRA, we'd have lost everything." Bingo! It's absolutely right. And 1994 was probably the head of that when NRA almost split. I don't think people understand how close the NRA was to splitting in half, and had to do with the assault weapons ban. But I can tell you right now, when the Democrats owned the House, they owned the Senate, and they owned the White House, and they were going to pass the bill they wanted. Luckily, NRA stepped in there and was able to litigate that because they actually had Democrats that they had donated to. And I mean, I heard it every time when I was a rep. Why are they donating to that? I said, well, they're single issue organizations.
Yeah, I mean, well, some of them did vote pro-gun for, Bernie Sanders used to.
There ain't too many anymore.
Yeah, no. Who was that?
We used to have pro-gun Democrats. And so NRA, being a Second Amendment pro-gun organization, single issue organization, they donate to them. And it paid dividends in 94. Without those particular Democrats, you would not have had a sunset clause, which was probably the most important part of that bill. And you wouldn't own ARs. You wouldn't own anything over a 10-round magazine. You wouldn't have any semi-autos, including 1022s. Yeah, you don't need them. I'm telling you guys, it was the NRA, and only the NRA, especially then, that made a difference. Well, and we're going to talk about some more things probably on Friday and maybe on Wednesday. Some Supreme Court things coming up. And NRA's out there, I'm telling you, and I can tell you right now, when I'm up there lobbying in the legislature, who's there?
Yeah.
NRA.
I was just going to say, Clay, before I got to my happy ending, remember I said I told you my senator sent me an email and said a text message and said the only organization that's at the Capitol all the time talking to senators and congressmen is the NRA. No other organizations there. None. Not GOA, not Second Amendment Foundation. None of them. She said they'll give you an email blast now and then, but as far as coming in there and giving you information, helping pass bills, the NRA is the only one who does it.
That's right.
People can bitch about them, but like I said, they get shit done. That's
just the way it is.
Yeah. So. I'm a life member. I'm still proud to be a life member. I'm not sure I believe everything about Uncle Wayne, but whatever. We'll see what happens.
Well, it's kind of like I tell everybody. There isn't one organization I'm part of or belong to that I agree 100% with. Okay? But I agree probably 90 to 95% of the time with them. And I'm going to support them because I can litigate the percentage I don't. There's nobody that 100% agrees with you or me or anybody. No. So you got to find that. I mean, I'd rather have 90% than none.
It might come as a shock to people, but Clay and I don't agree on everything either.
That's right.
Marty and I don't agree on everything. The blind guy, Axel. Most of my friends,
we're all friends.
But guess
and we have great discussions, and we still walk away.
We're all friends, and we know what our freedoms are about, what needs to be done, and we know what the left is trying to do to our shit. So.
Exactly.
Clay, see you put the number up there. I'll tell you what, I got another number for you. This is actually TTRG's cell, 701-226-8503. That's the man you want to talk to right there in text.
All right.
701-226-8503.
And the reason we're putting that up there is because we got people like Wendy. She says, you guys need more airtime on K-Fire.
Thank you, Wendy.
The entire Monday afternoon time.
I appreciate it. Well, I can tell you what, when Todd hears from people, Todd listens.
And we have the numbers to support it there. We've heard it.
Todd's an awesome guy. If you never ever met Todd Mitchell and sat down with Todd Mitchell and talked, Todd's a freaking awesome dude.
He does a great job there, and we're proud to be part of the K-Fire family there. And and we've already expanded. We were on at 8:40, now we're on at 8:15. I know that this is probably a trial, so if you like the show, let them know.
Yeah,
because we enjoy doing that, but we do not want an everyday show, guys. No, I don't. Jamie don't.
Once a week, I never want to quit doing the live stream. This is fun. I can say, hey, you know what? That person's a piece of shit and makes me feel good. I can't say that on radio.
Exactly. We got a little more freedom here.
Yeah, it's fun and
appreciate that, Wendy. We truly do.
There's plenty of stuff to talk about for us for sure. So that's and I tell you what, this
is the stuff we're not going to get to.
Yeah, I got a stack of them here.
So yeah. All right. With that though, is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I'm going to do. I'll tell you what, Clay. I'm going to do the happy ending, and then we're going to just say what we got coming up, and then we're gonna shut her down. So, without any further ado,
the happy ending.
Yeah. Play that instrument.
That's right.
Love
Maybe
it.
I'll have to start posting that stuff on the website.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, actually.
Bad Boys Custom Lures. Hey, thanks for listening in there.
Hey, awesome, man. Yeah. Hey, you guys, check out Bad Boys. He's on Facebook. He's on what's the Chinese app? Clay, that TikTok, and he's on YouTube. Check him out. Guy makes some awesome freaking, like you said, custom lures. Need a custom lure, he'll get it done.
Maybe we need to have him on.
Yeah. Hey,
we can look
Brandon,
at
you want to? Yeah, I'll tell you what. When deer season's over, let's do it. Let's actually have Brandon on. He's
and
awesome.
I'm an ice fisherman, so hey.
You'll
I'm not a very good one, but I do like doing it.
Yeah, I'll just sit back and have my 2 cents. I ain't much of a fisherman anymore, but
we're gonna get you on the ice this year.
Yeah. All right. So happy ending. You know, Clay, it's usually from Florida or Texas or something. Yeah. A lot of them from Philly, like you said, actually, which is weird. But this one's coming to us on April 6th. A jewelry shop owner in Glendale, Colorado, had just been open for the day's business when a man came in and started pointing a gun at the employees, demanding they open a jewelry case. Fortunately, the store's co-owner was on the other end of the store and was able to approach the robber from behind and fatally shoot the scumbag. Oh, he shot him in the back. Good. Ending the threat to his employees. Because don't forget, he shot him in the back, but the guy already had a gun and his damn employees in the store. So who knows if he was going to do it or do all of them or not, right? The store's owner emphasized that it was not his inventory he was concerned about, as that is insured. He came in, this is what the store owner said, his quote here. He came in with the gun already, 3 seconds, and he had it out, pointed it at one salesperson, then pointed at another salesperson. The scary part is he had no mask. Who knows? He might have wanted to kill everyone in the store. The robber, Clay, this is just, you're not going to get this. I mean, you would never guess this last part either. The scumbag robber had a long criminal history and was out on parole at the time of the incident. But he's not supposed to have a gun, Clay. There's laws that prevent
laws
that.
against that. Yep. Shouldn't happen.
Oh, that's shocking.
You mean a criminal ignored the law?
And I'll bet you any money if you look further into it, Clay, he probably stole the damn gun from somebody's house, which is where most criminals get their guns by like an 80% clip. No, that's not true, JD. They get it from straw purchases and gun stores that just want money.
That's right, don't you know?
Yeah.
The NRA is anti-gun.
Yeah. Oh, love it. All right. Okay, Clayton. So let's.
I like what Doug says. Game over. Do not pass go. Do not collect tools. For all you millennials, that's a Monopoly board game. Check them out. Board games.
Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go.
Boardwalk and Park Place.
Oh man, I used to play that game with Lynette's brother.
And Risk. My favorite's Risk. I love playing War. That was one of my favorite ones. That'd take days.
Sick.
Oh, crazy.
All right, Clay, why don't we give everybody a little heads up again one more time what we got coming up?
Yep, we got, of course, Thursday, tomorrow, we will be a special edition of In the Crosshairs on KFYR Plus. That's the streaming service.
KFYRplus.com. Not the plus sign, just spell it out. Plus.
Yep. And then that's with Jay Dillon. We're going to be talking deer hunting. And deer hunting's coming up. I mean, Friday at noon on Central.
God, I'm so
11 at Mountain. And I already saw the people out there today, not real happy with I went around to check signs, and I mean, I had 2 signs actually. I mean, I had boards bolted onto my post, good post. They're busted in half. I mean, that's how these people are getting.
God, yes. Unbelievable.
I should have took a picture. I was so pissed off. So tomorrow I'll be out putting signs up, more of them, and make no mistake, I will be out there all weekend. I'm going to be hunting as well, but I guarantee I catch somebody that's not going to be a good day for them. Not going to be a good day.
Yeah, I believe.
Start busting my signs down, now I'm pissed.
Yeah, you want to get mad about it, go ahead. You wreck people's property, that's bullshit.
That's right. And just a hint to everybody, don't call a game warden. Criminal trespass. File a criminal trespass complaint with your sheriff.
Yep.
Then something has to be done. And when that happened 2 years ago, I had them on my game cams, had their license plate, their Minnesota. Yeah, they lost some hunting privileges, which good for them. They shouldn't have been there. They knew
they
better.
Were probably Tim Walz voters too.
So anyway, we're gonna be on KFYR Plus in the Crosshair. I don't know if we'll call it that again, but that was our show.
That's what I'm gonna call it in the promo tomorrow.
Yep. And I'll try to live stream it as well. So hopefully that'll work for us. That's gonna be at 11 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Mountain. Don't miss it. Probably be a pretty good episode. And then, of course, Friday morning, we're going to be on with Todd Mitchell in the morning, 8:15 in the morning, Central Time, 7:15 Mountain. And then we got that bottom of the hour break, which is a pretty long break. And then that goes
it's about 15 minutes. So don't click out. Hang in there.
Yep, stay there. It's about I think it's running around 27 minutes.
Well, if you click
24.
out, you're gonna miss Scott Bachmeyer's farm report. So
that's right. You want to hit that?
Don't do that. Hang around. He's got some good info for you.
And then the following week, of course, Wednesday is our live stream, and then Friday.
Clay, by the way, I dropped that on Clay. I apologize to him, but Clay's going to be on his own next Wednesday again because I got Wednesday off deer season, man.
And we're going to see how this is going to work, Jamie, because I'm not sure if I have to leave Thursday night or early Friday morning. So
okay,
I'll try to get this. If it's early Friday morning, I think I'm going to leave early enough so that I get up there and I'll get a hold of Todd and see if we.
Yeah, what about Wednesday? I'm talking Wednesday
next week.
Yeah,
next week I'll be here Wednesday.
Okay. So Clay's doing it Wednesday. I don't know.
I will have a guest on.
Maybe you'll have Eric on. I don't know, but yeah, Friday, like Clay said, I'll call it. I'm going to be on with you guys on Todd's show next Friday, but it's going to be from the hunting shack.
And like I said, I may be in studio up there. I don't know yet.
Yeah,
I got to get a hold of Todd and see if we.
Yeah,
maybe I can get his computer to work.
Yeah, awesome, man. And check back on our social media pages this weekend. I'm probably gonna end up doing a 1 or 2 lives from the hunting shack. Maybe give you guys a little update. Yeah. I mean, if I see some big bucks, I'm probably gonna lie to you and not tell you I seen any. But we'll see. We'll see what's up. We'll see.
Unfortunately, I will be in Fargo. I guess I'll double the conservatives in that town that day. But
there you. Yeah, probably.
No, there's some good people there too, but no, that's kind of our lineup. And I know that we're going to be, guys, on Friday. There's a big Supreme Court case going to be taking place from that group, the NRA, that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised as to what this is going to be about. I know that we're probably really paying attention to it. So tune in Friday because we're going to talk about it on Friday.
Yeah, and like I said about our social media, I'll guarantee I'm going to be posting a buttload of videos on there of deer and all kinds of stuff when I'm up at the farm and the ranch and doing some hunting, me and my buddies and my dad. So check back. You guys we had some last week there. I don't know, some of them people really like. It blows my mind that they really like it when you put corn down. Which we might talk about on Todd's show or Jay's tomorrow about some of the butthurt comments on YouTube.
I saw that was interesting. You're not a real hunter.
Yeah, for sure. But we can explain that one quite easily. But
so with that, just everybody tune in. We're gonna have a good show on Friday. Thanks to the Rumble listeners, guys.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
That figured out. You've been hanging in there. So I hope I can get how you can comment there, but I cannot see them here, and I don't know what that's about. Something new I got to learn, I guess, again. But yeah, we're getting there. We're making strides. By the way, thanks to everyone on the website. Now I see if I hover over it, I can see how many people are actually on there.
Awesome.
So it's good to see.
Hey, Cap, I appreciate that. He said, good luck, JD. Thank you, Cap. I really appreciate that. Good luck to you too. I'm totally I'm so jacked up for freaking deer season. I got a buck tag again. The weather's looking awesome for the next 2 weeks. I'm freaking jacked. Hanging out with my dad and my buddies. It's going to be great.
Private message just come to me. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the first time I've had one. And the answer is yes. I do still have some Farm Bureau raffle tickets. Just, you got my number. You know me. So just get a hold of me after the show here. We'll make sure we get you a ticket. I'll save one for you.
Just donate it because I probably
buy
got
a book.
I probably got
$100. Yeah. So anyway. Well, guys, with that, what did we say? We're going to start ending our show with, we're going to do the keep your powder dry, but
we're going to end it with, I'm going to say, hey, do some hunting, shoot some guns.
Absolutely.
And then remember, you're going to say, and keep your powder dry.
And I'm going to do like Scott.
We're working on it.
Eat some beef, eat some sheep or lamb, whatever. You drink some milk. And guys, never forget, you always got to keep your powder dry and load freedom seeds. You never know what's coming. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you on Friday. Thanks for joining us, and have a great deer season opener. Catch you later.